Are you ready to learn how to make turnip cake, also known as Lo Bak Go? Well, this is your time because you know what? I was moved to learn how to make it myself for generations to come because this is an essential dish for Lunar New Year's. This is the list of ingredients that you're gonna need. You're gonna notice I did not include mushrooms because that's actually what makes it expire quickly. And let's get started with some good old preparation. First up, you're gonna dice up your Chinese sausages and also Chinese cured pork belly. And that's an ingredient that you might overlook, but really makes the dish extra delicious. Make sure you dice the cured pork belly into smaller pieces as well. I just want to show you what it looks like as a cross section. I highly recommend steaming them because it will soften and make the cutting process easier. Next up, we're gonna move into our dried ingredients, which is soaking the dried shrimp and dried scallops overnight so they get rehydrated. They're soaking back all that water and coming back to life for us to cook with them again. That is essential. A major pro tip is to not throw away the water. Keep it because that will be the moisture we need for the turnip cake. And when it comes to measurements of all these ingredients, it really is based on what you prefer. And moving on into the star of the show, we're looking at the turnips or the white radish or the lo bak. And this one is also up to you in terms of how chunky you want the slices to be. But you want to make sure half of the amount is grated. This next step of draining the water from the grated turnip is optional, but make sure you save the water. On the stove, heat up a large wok to a low-medium heat, and we're gonna steam up these turnips. Or should I say, we're gonna turn up the heat. Just kidding, don't do that yet until later. And at this point, we're gonna add in that scallop and shrimp water that you saved on the side, that sugar for a little sweetness, because you know, turnips can be a little bitter, and you're gonna add some white pepper and chicken bouillon. And turning our attention back to the things that are going to give this cake flavor, we are going to heat up a separate wok and saute our sausage and pork belly until that fat is rendered. You'll notice that I chose a leaner Chinese sausage because I knew that the pork belly that I got was extra fatty. And on the flip side, if you've chosen not to have cured pork belly in your dish, then definitely choose the fattier Chinese sausage. Now we're gonna add in our diced shrimp and shredded scallop to really bring all those flavors together, to elicit all the aromas, because that is what it's going to put that delicious, meaty, and high impact flavor for this turnip cake. And a little pro tip from Mama Choi's kitchen, I've learned to soak up that excess oil. Once this mixture has cooled down a bit, we're gonna add it back into the other wok with the cooked turnips. And we're gonna do a little mixy mix, but make sure you do it gently, not breaking up the turnips. For this next step of incorporating the rice flour, I've seen it done two ways. One is mixing the rice flour with water to make it a batter already, but I wanted to try out what it looked like to sift the rice flour, so making it more fine, and then incorporating it slowly with the water that is already there. This one just requires a bit more patience, but I do think that this is a good way of incorporating that rice flour a little bit better. Once it's goopy enough, you're gonna oil up a pan and bring that mixture over, pat it down so it fills in all the gaps. Then we're gonna transfer it over into our steamer and cover it to steam at medium-high heat for 45 minutes minimum. And to ensure that it's cooked through, use a chopstick to poke it. If it comes out without anything, that means it's ready. After you remove it from the steamer, I would say cool it down for a bit, but make sure you enjoy a little bit right away to taste how good it is. it's a different world when it's fresh. A side tip that I want to tell you guys is that if you found your mixture to be more dry, then you should add more liquid, but if you found it too liquidy, then add more rice flour to balance it out. This is the entire batch that I made, but make sure you put it into the fridge so that the next morning you can enjoy it pan-fried, which is my favorite way to eat it. So what you're gonna make sure you do is pan-fry it golden on both sides, but make sure you add a bit of water and steam it so it cooks all the way through. And to finish it off, I love adding XO chili oil or sriracha. Enjoy! Hey you, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't yet, feel free to hit subscribe, like, or even place a comment below. And if you want to stay tuned every Friday, make sure you hit that notification bell. See you next time.